Please take note of what we did in our previous video. A to the power m of n over n is the same as a to the power 1 over n into m. And this is the same as the root of n to the power m. In other words, if you look at this, 1 over n, this is m over n. Now this is the same as 1 over n times m is actually m over n, which brings us back to this. It's like when they give you 2/3. 2/3 is the same as saying you 1 over 3 times 2. You displace this 2 out and you make this 1 over 3 times 2. So 1 over 3 times 2 is the same as 2/3. Or if they told you 6 over 5, 6 over 5 is the same as saying 1 over 5 times 6. So our interest here is to create a fraction that is having 1 as the numerator. And that's what we are doing here. That m over n is the same as 1 over n times m. We are interested in this fraction that is having the 1. Because any number to the power 1 over n is equivalent to the root of that number n. For example, if we are saying that if it is a number, let's call it 2 to the power a half, this is the same as the square root of 2. If it is 3 to the power quarter, this is the same as the fourth root of 3. If it is 6 to the power 1 over 5, it means it is equivalent to as the fifth root of 6. That is what this means, 1 over n. So here we have a to the power the root of n. N can be any number, of course not 0. Then all this is to the power m. And this is the interpretation of that. From that previous clip from our previous video, we said we can convert this back to the fractional indices. So it means this is going to become 2. Since it is the third root, so it's going to be 2 to the power a third. And this whole thing is times negative to the power negative 2. Multiply that by a root of 6, which is, it means this is 8 to the power 1 over 6. And this whole thing is multiplied by negative 1 times negative 1. All this is divided by root of 32. Now, the third root of 32 means it's 32 to the power 1 over 3. And that is multiplied by the negative 1. Multiply that by 2 to the power negative 1. This is the square root. So the square root of 2 to the power negative 1, it means it's the same as 2 to the power a half. Multiply all this by the square negative 1. Then multiply that by, this is the same as third root of 16 means it is 16 to the power 1 over 3. And all this multiplied by negative 1. Like that. So we proceed. So our next thing here is going to become 2 to the power a third times negative 2. This is going to become a third times negative 2 is going to give us 2 to the power. This times that is negative 2 over 3. Multiply that by a 6 times negative 1 is going to give us 8 to the power negative 1 over 6. Then divide all this by this is 32 to the power negative a third. Multiply that by a half times negative 1, which is 2 to the power negative a half. Then a third times negative 1 gives us 16 to the power negative 1 over 3. So let's try and look and make these indices try and look the same. As you can see, we are all having even numbers all through. So this is already 2 to the power something. So can we make this one also 2 so that the bases are the same and we simplify the powers? Likewise down here. So we are going to take that approach. So it means that we are going to take on 8. When you factorize 8, we know that 8 by 2 it is 4. by 2 it is 2. So 8 is the same as 2 to the power 3. Then if you look at 32, 32 is by 2 is 16, by 2 is 8. Divide that by 2, you get 4, by 2 you get 2. So 32 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 32 is the same as 2 to the power 5. If you look at 16, same story. By 2 you get 2, you get 8. By 2 you get 4, by 2 you get 2. So 16 is the same as 2 to the power 4. So we are going to replace these numbers with these. So it means if you look at this, this is going to become 2 to the power negative 2 thirds. Multiply that by 8 to the power negative 16. Now this 8 is being converted to 2 to the power 3. So it is going to be 2 to the power 3. Multiply that by negative 1 over 6. Divide all that by 32. Now the 32 has become 2 to the power 5. So it's going to become 2 to the power 5. All this is to the power negative a third. Multiply that by 2 to the power negative a half. Multiply that by 16. 16 has become 2 to the power 4. So it's times 2 to the power 4. All this is multiplied to the power negative a third. So our next step is going to become 2 to the power negative 2 thirds. Multiply that by 2 to the power. Now this is 3 times negative 1 over 6. 3 times negative 1 over 6 is going to give us 1, negative 1 over 2. All that is divided by 2 to the power 2 to the power 5 times negative 1 over 3 is the same as negative 5 over 3. Multiply that by 2 to the power negative a half. Multiply that by 2 to the power, this is 4 times negative a third. 4 times negative a third gives us negative 4 over 3. So our next step here now, since the bases have now been made the same, 2, 2, so we maintain the base and add the power since it's multiplication using the laws of indices. So that is going to become 2 to the power negative 3 or negative 2 over 3 plus negative a half. Divide that by the bases are the same and it's multiplication, so it is we maintain the base and we add all the powers. So when we add all the powers, this is becoming negative 5 over 3 plus negative a half plus negative 4 over 3. And definitely this is going to become, when you add these fractions, negative 3 over 2 plus negative a half is going to give you this is 2 to the power negative 7 over 6. Divide all that by, this is 2 to the power negative 7 over 2. Now if you look at this, this is 2 to the power negative 7 over 6 and this is 2 to the power negative 7 over 2. This is division of indices. You're dividing two indices that are having the same base. So it means that we're going to go ahead and maintain the same base and subtract these powers. So that becomes maintaining the same base to the power, subtract the powers, negative 7 over 6 minus negative 7 over 2. Of course, this is going to become 2 to the power negative 7 over 6. This minus minus becomes a positive plus 7 over 2. And our answer here is going to become 2 to the power 7 over 3. As simple as that. This brings us to the end of this video. Thanks for tuning in. For more of these videos, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel. Otherwise, don't forget to hit that like button. Coming up next is more of these. Stay tuned. For Kisembo Academy, this is Anodranga Kuramya.